Yes, I think I was probably one of the first. Thank you. I think I was probably one of the first to say that I thought it was brilliant. And I said so on the back of the Afrobarometer data, which had shown that this is 2022-2023, which showed that over 30% of Ghanaians said they were unwilling to report corruption for two reasons. First reason was they anticipated victimization or retaliation. In other words, their biodata would be released, and so persons who ought not to know, including those who they were reporting, would then attack them. So that was one reason they would not report. And the second was because they thought nothing would change. Now, the brilliance of Aura for me was in the composition of the committee. That the persons who had been put on the committee are persons who are known to have handled data over the years of sources of information without leaking who told them the information. So whether it was Martin, or whether it was Samuel Ablakwa, or whether it was Kofi Boachie, these are persons known within the anti-corruption space who have taken cases, handled them, yet their sources had not come out. So if you put that list of names there and say, go and report to them and say, this ones, I'm sure they will not leak my information or who I am. So I have the confidence to go and report. So I felt from being part of the analysis of Afrobarometer data that the character of the persons there would help that. But not just that. These are persons who had produced results over the years. Whether it is Martin or whether it was Sami, they've picked cases, and we have seen that in the beginning people may have doubted them. But at the end of the day, they were right. We got results. And so clearly, citizens will have a lot more confidence to say, reporting to these people, I am sure my identity won't go out. And at the end of the day, there are likely to be results. And I think for me, that's where I saw Oral as being brilliant. It will not take away, and I'm trying to build on Martin's point, it will not change the fact that some persons may already have confidence in some of the institutions. So Tribe will still have been receiving some reports. OSP, by virtue of who is there and their confidence, so they were already receiving some reports. But I thought this was a unique platform, and I think we should keep it. You know, I align with him when he says that, look, part of the accountability measurement or mechanisms in this country is when you have finished your tenure of government, anticipate and expect an oral. Anticipate and expect that there will be an attorney general who is going to pick up all those cases and go to court. It is because during your tenure, we may not have had the time to put a microscope to what you are doing.
So oral is a good precedent.
It's a good precedent. And let's stop calling all of this witch hunting. I think those who are in leadership should not just enjoy the perks and privileges and think that at the end of the day, that's it. After your perks and privileges, there's time for accountability. You should man up and be willing and ready to be accountable and allow people, whether it's going to be by oral and then an AG and going to court, just come and speak to it. So keep your data, make sure that you are ready to defend any actions you take. Don't all of a sudden then you want to disappear from jurisdiction and we can't find you. Things like that doesn't work for us.
Are you talking about Ken Oforiatta?
Well, yes, I'm alluding to certain people.
I see.
But I think that that's important. I also think that absolutely there are a number of things that are coming up that build on what we've been doing so far. The president's decision to have special courts, I think, is fantastic. I wish we had many more such special courts where these issues can come up and be heard on a daily basis. Special courts, not just in terms of mechanization, because we've tried that, it didn't work. We said it would be fast track, it didn't produce the results. But special courts with new court rules that say these courts will sit daily, that also have capacity building for the judges, for the prosecutors, so they understand the anti-corruption terrain. When the cases come, they will not look at a video that clearly somebody is saying, I gave you money, you didn't vote for me, and then they say this video is of no consequence and therefore we throw it out. No, that kind of thing ought not to happen. So in my view, I don't think, let's remember that the terms of reference for the oral team, they don't include go and investigate and produce. That was not it. So I think the languaging also, sometimes we need to be cautious. Maybe the AG meant to communicate one thing, but has been understood differently.
No, I played the full complement of it. I think the context is quite clear. It was not meant to
in any way to demean or...
He was quite careful in the choice of words, and he explained why.
I think Oral achieved this purpose by raking in the evidence. And we are, at the moment...
Top country ni kukudrufo, the chewa home. Say your powder, say your deodorant. Wait there. The onim the aircon, and a diano. So powder and a kissin. And I get to our bit of the show, one cobebia. Say a deodorant to swa. Say yɛ ne ketewa anaa ne kɛseɛ, top country. Ɛma ho yɛ hwam da mu ne nyinaa. Ɛma akokɔduru a yɛde kɔ nipam. Na ane obi bɔ nsanho a ne remfiri wo da. Ma obiara hu sɛ w'ani apie. Fa ho hwam ne tam kuro ne bɔɔbo. Top country nya wo ho hwam ho ahotɔsoɔ. Da mu ne nyinaa.
I have been saying let's give the AGs time, just as we should give the OSP time. When it comes to the fundamental rights and freedoms of citizens, let's not be in a rush to say, hurry up and go to court. Allow them to do thorough investigations so that we don't breach or infringe on anybody's rights. But at the end of the day, those who should be held accountable should be held accountable.
But does that not also, although commended, yes, oral, but that also present a challenge that you have to wait till the end of a tenure to demand accountability when there are institutions that are to ensure, they've been mandated to ensure continuous accountability within the administration's period or the tenure, not after, so that I don't have confidence to go to SHRAJ or OSP, CID, IOCO to report an issue. I have to wait until after 4 years. What's the guarantee that you would even get the people and they will not be out of the jurisdiction and others, as we are seeing?
I think that just demonstrates the need we have to strengthen. For example, we've talked about the Conduct of Public Officers Bill. That should be passed. There are many cases where, especially dealing with public officers, you go to court, and because there are no clear sanctions regime, we just go round. It's as if you're a public officer, nothing can be done against you. There are certain aspects of our legal regime that need to be strengthened. And that's why we are struggling at the moment. If our internal audit systems, for example, were working, many of the things we are seeing as financial irregularity shouldn't come up. Again, it's a weakness of the internal audit system to the extent of then we get to audit recommendation, implementation committees that are doing nothing. You know, the follow-ups don't happen. So there are those issues that we need to confront up front and say, these parts of our systems are not working. If internal audit was working, trust me, a lot of the issues we are contending with would not happen. But internal audit raises the issues. What are the sanctions that should be applied? How speedily are those sanctions applied? Otherwise, at the end of the day, we have a whole machinery in place, but we're not getting the results. So you're absolutely right. The COPO needs to be done. We need to strengthen some of the areas, illicit enrichment, reverse bidding, you know, those things are there. But internal audit, and as it leads to making sure that they are sanctioned. And that's why the president's idea of a special court on audit issues, for me, makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
So because then the Auditor General's work is on a yearly basis.
Absolutely.
So then we don't have to wait till after,
you're not waiting to 4 years.
But imagine, Malaba, if we had to even get the Auditor General's report subjected to forensic auditing, that would even uncover more than what we're even crying about when we see in the Auditor General's report, is it not?
Which is what the AG demonstrated. I think one of the cases he said he had asked for a forensic audit, and then the data, and I thought that was excellent.
Yes. So it ballooned from about 6 million to 2.2 million.
Exactly.
543.
Exactly.
To 2.2 billion.
And I thought it was a good way of deploying other agencies, because then the work that the lawyers need to do when they go to court is less, because the evidence is skunk. So that I thought was a very smart move. That look, let's get other agencies to pull out the evidence in a stronger way. That then you don't have to now do a lot of running about to then, you know, make sure the evidence.
So you would recommend another layer of auditing
that
beyond the Auditor General's report or the Auditor General's auditing. There has to be forensic auditing.
And I think they just need a checklist. That you can't do that for everything. You need to look at what cases maybe have a certain threshold and say that this one merits deploying additional, you know, resources to get. Let's not attempt to do it for everything. So select based on some criteria so that additional work can be done.